Hey, everybody. If you offend easily, this ain't the place for you. It's just not. One of these days, I'm going to cross a line and somebody's going to get good and mad, and I don't want to give a damn about that. Normally I have some quick little quibs, some goofy little whatnot, but as y'all may have been keeping up with, I'm kind of still worn out and tired. I can tell you I'm in a better place than I was yesterday, and thank y'all for putting up with that. Auntie Rosie has her moods, and sometimes there's just not enough meds in the world. So I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. Not really. And, I don't ever come into any of this planning per se, although I usually don't start till I have some vague general idea of what direction I want to go. So I think today's got to be the most vague idea. And it's that I was just outside watering my plants. And I know that sounds like it's a what? What does that have to do with it? But, I've talked in previous videos about the telepathic ability that we as human beings actually do have basic telepathy. We do hear when other people are thinking. It's harder for some than it is for others, and it's because y'all haven't practiced, not that y'all can't. Okay. I would say the only limitation to things like your telepathy, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, and all of that jazz, and I've said this before, it's just a matter of who's using it and who's not. It's no different than who's good at a test, depending on the test. Goldfish and trees and all that. But anyway, so I've gotten to a point where I'm managing to not kill my plants. I'm managing to finally not kill my plants. I'm a water sign. I'm a cardinal water sign. That means I'm just this, oh God, gushing, uncontrollable wave of water and emotions and energy and just oozing empathetic at all times. I didn't say I was nice. I said I could be empathetic. Could be. It's a matter of choice. Anyway, so my biggest problem is that I was always overwatering my plants, and I'm still guilty about it. According to my plants out there, they had to give me a nice big sign, but I'm finally listening, and I swear I can hear them sometimes when I'm watering. I've started talking to them because they're nicer to talk to than people. Although I did the same thing with the when I was working with a lot of animals. At one point, I would just talk to them because they were nicer to talk to than people. It is what it is. Like I said, if y'all offend easy, and if you've made it this far, buckle up, sweetheart. Um, so plants are nicer than people, and this is saying something from someone who actually grows roses out there. When we bought this house, I wanted something with a crappy yard, and I got a crappy yard with rose bushes along the back wall. And I've spent a couple of years doing the whole I'm going to let them thorn out and not prune anything. And then a couple of years ago, I actually went and learned how to actually prune stuff. And lo and behold, it's not as hard as I thought. And when I started talking to them, and when I was watering them, and I would prune them as I went and make a whole morning of it, like it became our special time. And I swear they enjoy it as much as me. I can feel it. It's like we're happy to see each other when I go out there. It's great. I can feel it. And they had this so we had these three ugly bushes in between our rows of roses that that poor one on the end just could not get any sun, and these things were ugly and just, oh God, we got rid of them. And I was that person. We got rid of them, and they actually, as soon as we cut them, they went belly up real fast. So I kind of got the impression that it was the right thing to do. That little rose bush on the corner, I've been talking to it for 2 years now. It is producing more roses than any of the other plants. It's crazy. I've been talking to it for 2 years, encouraging it and asking it to grow and telling it what I wanted and what I was hoping for. And I'm not even really weeding the place. If the weeds get too terrible, I do something about them. But by and large, I let even the weeds do what they do around it because it's dandelions. I don't want to get rid of dandelions. I don't want to pull up clover. No, it just seems wrong. So I let all that, as long as they don't get out of hand. like, if they get inside the rose as well, we'll talk. But all surrounding that, it's a bit of a jungle under there, and everybody seems relatively happy. I'm not getting a whole lot of. There's that one particular plant that this particular weed that pops up that everybody does kind of complain about, but it's really hard to pull up. And one of these days I need to actually get out there and uproot everything, but I don't want to pull up the dandelions. Anyway, I'm getting off track. It seems like it's all doing really well. That plant, that one rose bush, has decided it's going to be the crown jewel of the garden this year. And I'm like, go, baby, go. I had one this year produce 4 dark pink, like, ooh, really dark pink. 4 of them on one stalk. I'm like, and big things too, like big roses. I'm like, wow. 4 of them. It was doing a 5, but they're all popping up at different times on the one stalk. So I can't even just wait till they start to go bad and, trim them off, let the other ones pop up. But they're not. But it was 5 on one. I'm like, And then got the one on the other end that was not doing well. That it tried. And I was a little confused about what I could do to help it. And it was kind of struggling for a couple of years and just talking to it and encouraging it. And it has 8 currently on it. And considering it hasn't had any, I'm like, yes! So me, a water sign who has had a light brown to a yellow thumb all this time, is managing to successfully. I mean, these roses were established before I came along, but they're growing, and I can feel it. I can feel it. It's because of me. I can feel it. They're excited when I go out there. I'm excited when I go out there. We all get along. If only I had my neighbors do that. I've got an olive tree in my front yard, and I did not know how to prune that one. And before y'all sit there and say hire someone, that's expensive and I couldn't afford it. Still can't. Learned how to do things myself. Took a few years to learn what to do. Part of that olive tree actually started going belly up, and that's when I kind of panicked and decided to really do some deep research and learn how to prune the damn thing. It's my twice a year. I go up in that tree and we have a talk. Like, no, you can't do that. Hey, who said you could grow here? Nope, you're going to interrupt everybody else. I do this when I prune the roses too. It's like, no, let's talk. Let's figure this out. And that part that was damn near dead is almost completely regrown again. I'm managing to do it, and I'm so excited about it. And I decided to take my giant aloe. That was like the one thing, aloe and cantaloupe. I can grow those like nobody's business. I don't know why. My cantaloupe are not good cantaloupe, but they grow. I can do my cantaloupe. I can do, I've done watermelon before, although I don't think I'm in the right spot for watermelon right now. But my last place, I was actually successfully growing a watermelon. Anyway, and I've had this giant aloe vera that I parked under the olive tree because I read somewhere that these two get along well. Apparently, this thing pulled up 7 stalks this year. 7! It's got 2 giant great-grandmothers that I need to separate. I'm a little scared to separate because they're so established, but I need to separate them. They're huge. Along with a grandmother. And then I managed to pull out all the adults and babies and started lining them around the olive tree in a ring inside of its rockwell. And that whole section's just, everybody except for one is doing really well. Like, everybody except for one. And I'm really watching that one on the end, because it wasn't until I put it in the ground that I went, this was probably not a good spot for you, huh? So I'm really babying that thing a lot, trying to encourage it. And then I went to the store and bought what it said was crossvine. I have to look. I don't know because that's honeysuckle. Y'all, that's honeysuckle. I got honeysuckle now instead of what I went after. So we're going to see, though. It's, gosh darn, they're trying their best. And I'm just like, let's do it. Although my 2 pine trees in the front yard are just mad at the world. I don't know what to do for them. I don't know what to do. Ooh, they're resistant. They don't really want to talk that much. I got one in the corner accepting offerings. This one in the front yard's just mad. And I can't figure out why. Like, I'm watering it to the point where that water bill's starting to get painful. And I'm fertilizing it, but apparently someone told me I had to go deep to fertilize, so I'm still doing some research about that, but it's mad. That's like the one that's really mad. The other one, at least, it's mad, but it's accepting offerings. Don't ask. Just say it's accepting offerings, okay? But I don't know what to do with that one in the front. I don't want to get rid of it because if I can get it to grow, it'll go back to being a shade tree, which is what it was obviously meant to be. But it needs help. Probably needs a trim, huh? Like a upstairs trim. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's do a reading. So Deviant Moon keeps trying to talk. So again, we're going with Deviant Moon. So let's see what's going on. Like I said before, I'm in a better place. I've come up with a few internal resolutions about things to help me not be in a dark place. Auntie Rose has a plan. Auntie Rose is going to fix this because that's what Auntie Rose is good for. And it's time that Auntie Rose gets off her butt and does what needs to be done. So let's do a reading. Like, I know that one, but I want to double check that. Whoa. Where are you? I know it, but I don't know it. It's like, obviously it's a situation. I say it's akin to an imprisonment, but it's also like a waiting, a worrying, a stressing over what's to come next, which is exactly where I am. This card in particular just kind of always reminded me of being grounded as a kid. Don't read into that too much, but take what you will from it. But that's what it always reminded me every time I looked at that. So that's what it is. I know that that's the meaning. I want to cross-reference. Y'all know I like to cross-reference, and here's my cross-reference deck. Okay, so I want to see it on another card. There's a 10 of Wands, which the world is crumbling, but that's not what I got. I got 9 of Wands, and I want to see. I always reference the Cat People Tarot deck because it was my very first one. So it's like the one I have the most bond with. And I mean, as we've established, I know what that card means, okay? But I want to still look at it with my Cat People deck. And I don't know why I don't just have it out when I do readings anyway. But, all right. It's going to be at the end of the deck, huh? Is it the last card? No. I just figured I had to look. Because that would be my luck, right? Y'all. Did I pass it up? 9 of Wands. Okay, so yeah, it's stress, it's worrying, it's wondering what's going to come next. It's seeing things over your shoulder. It's where my mental state has been. I've been worrying. Okay? I don't feel like I'm worrying as much today, though. I feel like I have a plan. Picking up my mess and moving on. There's that damn 10 of Wands. See, I saw it in this one. Okay, and apparently my decks decided to talk to one another because here it is. I'm picking up my mess and I'm moving along and I'm doing what needs to be done now. It's time to tear the house down and start again. I won't be surprised if I get the Tower card because, yeah. Page of Wands in reverse. A lot of wands. So this... somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do. Like, I don't need a recap. I want a message. Okay, so we had the reverse page of wands. Okay, so it's like someone who hasn't been doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm going to say that that's me because I've been allowing myself to have my little nervous breakdown for a bit too long. And it's time. I'm not asking anymore. I'm not asking me anymore. We're going to get this done. But the reverse Five of Pentacles. That's like not having it to worry, not having it to stress, not having it to God, it's been a while. I should really practice with these a bit more. Five of Pentacles, it's not having it to lose. It's not having the loss. It's okay. Versus, I mean, it's not having it to lose. That's the best way I can say it. Bear with Auntie Rose, y'all. Okay. Reverse justice again. At this point, it's the karma I make, folks. I'm not listening to karma's commands. Now I'm making my karma. Queen of Cups in the upright position. I'm in the right place, baby. I'm doing it. I come up as Queen of Cups a lot, because of my over-emotional self. So, my nurturing side on the other hand. So, my Hanged Man in reverse. And that's, at this point, because normally because that's why, okay. You can see he's got a timepiece. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Hanging from his boot. Okay. And I learned that from the Cat People deck too, that he's hanging. Yes, he's enduring his situation. Yes, he's receiving even a bit of karma, receiving a bit of punishment. He kind of had it coming. He's waiting out. This is someone who's waiting for their sentencing to be done. He's upside down position. The wait is over. He's been released. I've been released. Given permission to leave my own cage. Ace of Cups in reverse. What are you doing at this point? What are we talking about? Why? Just new emotional situations been on hold. Like, again, I don't need a recap. What am I looking for here? I need to tell you what I'm looking for. I'm no longer imbalanced. The Chariot's in reverse. The imbalance, yes, Let me get around to actually just straight up asking a question. That's probably a good idea. When your deck starts to ramble like that, it's good to ask it just a question. And I'm actually violating my own rule because I don't have a specific question. And that's just, I'm a stickler for that. Know what you want to know. And that might be why I'm having trouble getting a straight answer out of this, is because there's no question. So, but generally speaking, I don't really have a question because I have a plan. Here we go. Here's a question. Is my plan good? King of Wands in reverse. That's... Okay, now we're going to quantify, because that... I'm going to read it right side up real quick. This is a man surrounded by kids. Y'all, my husband's surrounded by kids because he's in special education at school. Working for the school district. Being in reverse, we're worried about St. Alan. We're always worried about St. Alan. All right? So, I know I'm not using the word quantify correctly. Don't fuss me too hard, all right, folks? I understand. It's just, you ever have a word you just like using, whether it's right or wrong? You just like using it anyway? We're going to pull more cards on the subject. Oh, Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this is kind of looking like what he's stressing about. It's reminding me what he's stressing about because he's worried about the finances. Normally, he gets to work during the summer, but with the school district running out of money and taking away everybody's raise, yeah, he couldn't get hired this summer because there wasn't enough roles for everybody for the summer. So he stressed that real hard. So I'm being told about St. Alan. How's my plan? My plan is going to make things grow again. I know St. Alan watches these for me. So look at this, y'all. It's money growing on trees, literally. Sometimes I forget that nothing can grow without water running through it. I am a Cancer. My husband's a Capricorn. Nothing grows on the mountain without water. This isn't the forest that can produce its own to an extent. This isn't, it's a mountain. It's a windy mountain, very windy mountain up there. Okay, he's cusp. So very windy mountain up there. And sometimes I forget you need the water to come in and make things grow. Yeah, it's time. My plan is good. We're going to do this and it's going to work. So, any final words on the matter? The victory card. Don't worry, St. Alan. Auntie Rose has got this. In the meantime, thank y'all all for joining in. I know it's been a rough and tumble ride so far, but we're getting there. Not bad for not having really a clue what I was going to talk about today, eh, folks? Bye, y'all.